Hey, it's Mark. I'm gonna talk about some of the things that I've been looking at for the past week or so. Some of the things I haven't posted on Twitter. Like I've got a bunch of watch lists that I follow, and some of the short bias ones, especially like the supernovas, those are setting up a lot. And I made a trade in this one stock, so I guess we can just jump in here to these charts. So the BBAI, this one had a really bad reaction to their earnings report, and that was a couple days ago actually, and stock sold off a lot after that, and it continues to go lower. I put on some pretty small position size puts on that on Friday. Maybe it was Monday. Well, it was the day after their earnings, and it's still trending down. And we saw a lot of the AI small caps go, off of the sound, and pretty much anything with AI in the name has had a run the past month or so, and some of them aren't as good as other ones, of course. So we saw that with the BBAI, and I didn't go into the details of it, but I just saw the sell off of the reaction. So it was up enough to be where you can get some supernova downside. Because a lot of times when a stock goes up really fast, really fast, really quick, there's usually some pullback at least to capture on the downside when it starts to pull back. And the GFAI is another one, like it's another AI one that, I mean, it's not a quality AI, like the quality one like the other ones, of course, and it did a pullback off of it. So it did a triangle there, and that broke to the downside too. So it looks like we're seeing a theme here with a lot of these sort of less fundamentally sound AI companies getting sold off here, and it's kind of with the market too. So there's probably a little more to capture here from these, on the short side than the big tech stocks, but this is what's happening now. So I was watching this one too. So now that it's shown that it's not going to break out off of that triangle, this one probably has more pullback. Probably maybe the twos, because at least the trend support here takes it to the low two or the mid twos probably. So that's the Guard Force AI, and I'm not even sure if this one's like, I'm not even sure if it's one of those that's even like an AI company. Like some of these things, like pretty much a lot of stocks, they just would change their name or something, or a lot of companies would change their name with AI, to participate in the bull market. But yeah, you can see it has a history of spikes where it sells off. So that's what I like to see when I'm short biased. It spiked there, at least 3 times in the past couple of years, or 3 years it spiked and sold off. But it wasn't much of a spike this time, which kind of tells you something. Probably it's obviously not as good a company as the bigger ones. So that one could be a short too, but there's lots of other ones too, like the JMIA. I was watching this. It had a nice little triangle here, nice little triangle consolidation where it actually broke down off of that. And this one hasn't been one of the best fundamentally sound companies. And when you look at these triangles, it's the direction after the triangle breaks that tells you where it's likely to continue to move. So if it breaks to the upside, it's probably going to go up. If it breaks to the downside, it's probably going to keep going down. And the triangles are really good pattern that has that happen. So it's the way to look at those is through the break. So I would expect this one to come down too. It could come all the way down to $5, because it broke out of that trading range, and then That's if it's going to lose momentum, but it could easily come down to like 580 or 560 area, like down about here, because that's kind of where it did a little flag there. So that's another one. Shot. This one I traded, and I talked about it a long time ago when it actually was breaking down there in late last year, and it's just continued the kind of like slow unwind fade that you see from these supernovas, because it was definitely a supernova because it went from $1 to like $7 in a month. And I think they've even changed their name a lot. So this one's my short bias too. So looks like it's gonna be slow though. But a lot of times they'll go down slow and all of a sudden they'll just, spike down overnight, like 20% or something. So as long as it's downtrending, this one looks like a good short too. But a lot of these supernovas, they'll have like really high short interest, so they can easily squeeze, if it starts to get momentum. But yeah, we can go all the way. Looks like the 170s was the support area. So yeah, it could easily go to 170 here from here. And I think I played that one with the puts, because I only play the supernovas with puts now, because it's just not worth it a lot of times to hold overnight on shorts, and I just can't watch them all day now. So that's one too. And let's make sure I got all the shorts, because there were actually a lot of them that I've been watching. I think I had a supernova watch list here. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I was watching a lot of the tech stocks lately in crypto, and I'm really bullish on Bitcoin. Like my highest conviction themes now is Bitcoin and crypto and the AI infrastructure, semis, data centers, cloud. That's all going to continue for a long time. And my other trade that I've been looking at is Valley National Bank, Valley Bank. So this one was back, like a year ago, when all the regional banks were getting their stock prices annihilated for a month. This one was one of the ones that was the most affected too, like the percentage moves. This one was one of the biggest ones. It would be down like 12% a day or something, just huge moves, and that kind of tells you that they probably are one of the more exposed to commercial real estate, and they obviously are, but the market sees that too. So that's kind of what you want to see, if because you want your thesis to be understood by the market too. So, but I think, because what we've seen with the NYCB, and I'm not saying this is going to affect the macro or anything, like, obviously the economy is really strong, so it's not going to, one bank getting bought out or getting government assistance isn't going to break the economy. But just for the sake of these trades, the NYCB's been down, off of their financial results, and like eventually the fundamentals just catch up. If they're taking losses on their commercial real estate book, so I think. But the trade I'm looking at with the VLY is they have earnings at the end of April. I think it's April 25th or April 29th. And so I was looking at puts for May, because there could be some, so if the market reacts negatively to their earnings in April, there could be you know, a couple bucks at least off taken off the stock price, and that's probably not even really reflected in the market today. Probably not even with the options really, of course. So you know, there could be a surprise, because the NYCB was a surprise to a lot of people too. I think the NYCB stock price. So the VLY, you know, I was looking at like just the $7 puts for like May. So I'm gonna put those on at some point. I was hoping we'd get like it would bounce, you know, like we get a rally in the stock so I can get a better price, obviously, but because it does have a lot of support here. Like we've got support right here, so it's coming up on support, and I mean, obviously, I'd just love for it to go, you know, higher, like for a day or two, so I can get a good fill on some puts. But you know, I might have to just bite the bullet here and take it when they're above 8 still, so I can get like $7 strikes or 6. I might even just go like spread and do like 5 or 4. I think they're pretty liquid going out to May, so that's kind of like it's kind of a, you know, a trade that could have, you know, high percentage gain, you know, off the options if they do react negatively to their earnings in April. Obviously, there's something going on, you know, because this stock hasn't participated with the rally recently, and KRE is still fairly weak, you know, compared to the rest of the markets. But yeah, my bullish biases are crypto stock, crypto, Bitcoin. I've got a lot of sort of like speculative positions in like crypto coins and stuff, and because it's still going, like the momentum's strong. And so let's go through a couple charts and then we'll wrap it up. So the meta came back to my channel level there. It tested right off of my channel support, so that's definitely a key level, and we'll see if it holds. You know, there wasn't that much sell volume to me today, so it's okay too. And then these stocks are going to pull back at some point. That, you know, for the long term, they can't go up forever and still continue to. So let's look at the Nasdaq. That's kind of, yeah, the Nasdaq's just still kind of like range bound here. Like it just started. It's been just in this channel now. It's kind of doing what the IWM likes to do, just, you know, go sideways for a while. So, but if you can see that there, it's like, I got so many lines on here, but this is what I think. I think this will be the new, like if it's gonna go in a channel, it's gonna be in these levels here. Yeah, that's like an internal line there. So yeah, there's the channel on NQ. So it's just kind of a channel and not even really a breakdown. You know, it's obviously got a lot of support going back. So you know, if it breaks below 17,372, then there's a problem. You know, but so far it looks still pretty bullish. You know, it's holding in. This kind of looks like it did back here. It channeled out a little bit. You know, it just does these little channels for a while. So yeah, that's about it. And if you follow my Twitter or my X account, I put this chart up on Twitter, on X. So it's NVDA, and it still has the momentum. It's because it's holding trend support, and it's got levels too. Like the next real level is like 823, so it could go to 823 and still be technically sound. And for it to be like a for it to be a trend reversal, it's gonna have to go below 771, this area here, because that's the level. That's where it actually had a low, like a higher low, you know, in the uptrend. So it's still technically sound. We'll see how much it sells off, you know, but it's been up a lot fast, like I was saying, so eventually these things cool off. And SMH had a easier channel to see, so it's still back in the channel on SMH. But over the long term, I'm still bullish on the AI, even the hardware build, because I've been listening to the CEOs and a lot of the leaders in the companies, and like the CEO of Anthropic, he was just like 6 months ago, he was saying that the models continue to scale, and in other words, the more NVIDIA cards they throw at it, the better it does. So they obviously want to make them better, so they just keep buying more NVIDIA cards. It's not, that's kind of the the first level thinking of it. Like, you know, it's the compute continues to show progress with LLM tech, and maybe they'll continue a long time, and that's what they think. That's what they think it will. And the models are getting better. Like, this is really, we're in right now. We're in the next tech revolution that's akin to the mid 90s, and it's going to be a long time, I think, until they even stop, you know, buying the hardware, you know, at the pace they're buying it. Because, like I was saying, it continues to show progress, and these big tech companies can afford to buy the cards. So, you know, at some point there'll probably be some cheaper cards. You know, you can do more with like ASIC chips or something. But, you know, I saw some news about that today on Twitter. Like, maybe it was just overblown, but they're saying that NVIDIA has more competition now from the ASIC chips, or like some you know, more specialized GPUs. But we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, it's kind of like it takes a while too for these things to develop. And I remember, you know, in the mid 90s, you know, everybody was still you know, they got all their news from the newspapers, and you know, the old media takes a long time to get disrupted. And I mean, look at even Blockbuster. I was looking at this video they posted, like the Blockbuster stores. They really peaked in like 2004, 2005, maybe even after that. I think it was long after the internet, you know, came, that Blockbuster, you know, peaked. And you may see the same with Google. You know, like if Google fails to deliver a popular LLM and are able to monetize it, there's two things they got to worry about. They've got to get a competitive LLM, which is tough now because there's so much competition. Because there's Anthropic, there's OpenAI, there's Microsoft. Well, they're working with OpenAI, and there's Meta. So, and they've got to have a competitive one, and they've got to figure out how to monetize it to maintain the Google search revenue if Google search is disrupted at some point. But it's going to be a while, I think, now until, I thought maybe it would be like a year or two before people would realize that you can do better searches with LLMs, even with sources. So it's going to be a while, I think, until if Google's disrupted, they are. But maybe the market will be ahead of that. I don't know. We'll see. So every time you look at Google as a short, it just kind of surprises. It just keeps going up. So, but yeah, it hit the top of my channel level there. So we're at a key level here with Google because it's coming up on that major level test, like a retest. Once it broke below this blue line there, it it failed a major level. So the retest is hitting up against that channel resistance too, so it's got a double whammy there. And those can be good short setups. You know, it seemed like in the tech world, like at least on Twitter, like a lot of people were find a way to harp on to like you know, put out some negative press on Google, so, or Alphabet. I still call it Google, like it's really Alphabet, but that was kind of a strange name change. But yeah, so if we wait for it to break that, we can wait or be preemptive. Like the way the stock trades, I'd probably just wait. So the next day it'll probably finish around here, like maybe a little higher, and then once it breaks this possible bear flag there, you know, then it's a short again. But that's another kind of long-term idea I have with puts. You know, if the market does begin to realize that Google search could be disrupted, even slightly, by LLMs, you know, which that'd be a big impact, even if they lost, you know, if they lose, you know, 2% a year or something, you know, it's kind of not expected, so it's not built into the discounted cash flows, right? So yeah, that's the next level there. So yeah, it's kind of a good spot to kind of maybe take a stab at some puts if it fails to hold that major, it's like a major level there, that blue line. But we'll see, you know, like I've been following the data, and so far Google hasn't had any disruption in their search, so it's gonna be a while, I think. Now, like I changed my mind. Like I thought it was gonna be like a year or two, you know, like maybe word of mouth would spread this new stuff, but yeah, I think I was just early in thinking about that. I think it's gonna be a couple of years, because I've seen what the tech can do already, and it's still in its infancy, and these LLMs are just going to get better and better while the 10 blue links stay the same. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the market, and that's about it. I mean, there's more I could look at, but I don't think anybody wants to watch like a really long videos, so probably talked a long time anyway, as it is. Probably well, it's only 20 minutes, so I did better there. So yeah, that's it, and I'll catch you next time.